Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a mono green In Search of Greatness deck for standard best of one. So this card is really cool, and I think it belongs in a mono green shell because outside of it, double green on turn 2 is very inconsistent. So for those of you that don't know what it does, it's a 2-mana enchantment, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with CMC equal to 1 plus the highest CMC among other permanents you control without paying its mana cost, and if you don't, you can scry 1, right? So basically, this card lets us get a free spell every single turn, ideally, as long as we can fuel it. I've played against a couple of these In Search of Greatness decks, and they never perform that great because they never actually double spell me. So I'm going to see if we can kind of alleviate that problem. We have a really solid curve, and I've gone pretty hard on the 3-drops because In Search of Greatness is a 2-drop and it fuels itself. Another problem I've seen these decks run into is they run 4 In Search of Greatnesses, and while the card is great, your deck should be able to function without it, which is why even if we just have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aggro curve, we can close games that way. And the rest of the shell is built around killing our opponent, but while keeping In Search of Greatness in mind. That's why we don't run cards like Stonecoil Serpent, because well, it has 0 CMC, and you won't be able to cast it off In Search of Greatness. We don't run cards like Gemrazor, because Gemrazor is more powerful when it's mutated onto, or sorry, when it mutates onto something, and In Search of Greatness says cast, and we don't run cards like Lovestruck Beast because that would make us cast the 5/5, and without a 1/1, the 5/5 just isn't that great. So in their place, we have a couple different options, and we'll get into the list right now. We start with Swarm Shambler, just a solid 1-drop that replaces itself. If it's targeted by a spell, it can grow, and a lot of our cards have counters, or it can get counters. Yorvo gets counters, Ooze can get counters, Nessian Hornbeetle can get some counters, same for Preserver. What else do we have? These cards, is it +1/+1 counters? Yep, it always is. I always get that mixed up because Vivian technically puts counters on their cards, but they're not +1/+1 counters. The Henge puts counters on everything. Anyway, Swarm Shambler is just a really solid green 1-drop. Blizzard Brawl, we are in snow and we are best of one, so we want a fight spell, or more specifically, we want a removal spell, and Blizzard Brawl does that job, along with the snow mana base not being very taxing, and we can run a couple Faceless Havens to help kill our opponent. The rest of the deck, we have some Hornbeetles, we have a lot of power 4 or greater creatures. The only cards 3 mana and up that aren't power 4 or greater are the Kazandu Mammoth as another land that we can run in the curve. So Hornbeetle is great, it grows really consistently. Ooze grows, eats the yard. Wildborn Preserver. So one cool thing with Preserver is what happens a lot is you don't have double spells, or you don't have 2 spells to cast off Greatness. So what you can do is you can cast 1 spell for free off the In Search of Greatness, and then pump all your spare mana into the Preserver to make it huge, so you don't feel like you're wasting your mana if you don't want the scry. It's a cool little combo I've found that works relatively well. You might even want to bump up the Preserver even more, like to 2 or 3 copies, and cut down on the Hornbeetles. I'm still playing with the numbers, and I like the 2-1 split so far. For the 3-drops, I'll put the Kazandu Mammoth back. We have some Yorvos, just a huge creature that is really solid. In the place of Lovestruck Beast, we just still need solid green 3-drops. 2 Trolls and 2 Harbingers. Most people run 4 Trolls, but Harbinger's a way that we can gas up. If it connects with our opponent, we can search our library for a a creature card or a Garruk Planeswalker, and we do run 2 Garruk Planeswalkers along with plenty of creature cards. So Garruk's Harbinger could help us find more gas should it connect. Also, protection from black, or sorry, hexproof from black is really useful right now. There's a lot of like spot removal going around, eliminate, Heartless Sack, that type of thing. Old Growth Troll, really good against control. 4 mana 4/4 trample, and the mana base supports triple green. Thank God. The only not green land we have is Faceless Haven. So we have the Troll. It's a really solid attacker that basically replaces itself and ramps if it dies. Questing Beasts, you guys know this. Garruk, because getting a free 4-drop into like an actual casted 4-drop is really cool, as long as we have like a 3-drop on board. I don't know, In Search of Greatness makes for some wild play patterns, and Planeswalkers really play well with this card, or at least that's what I've noticed. So I'm running a couple Planeswalkers. Nylea, just the 1 copy. We can animate it. it needs 5 devotion to green, and these big green creatures, unlike the In Search of Greatness, means we have a lot of devotion a lot of the time. So Nylea actually comes down as a 4-mana 5/4 quite often. It makes all our creatures cheaper, and it can help us gas up for In Search of Greatness. So I've actually been a pretty big fan of Nylea in this deck, all things considered. At the 5-drop spot, Gargaroth, just, solid if you cast it, solid if you get it for free. Gets you a lot of card advantage, great blocker, great attacker. Vivian, as a form of card advantage, you can look at the top of your deck, cast your spells from there. It doesn't, you can also set it up with In Search of Greatness, like you can scry to make sure you actually have a creature. If there's technically you can't because it's on upkeep, so, if you don't like your draw, you can scry and maybe try to hit off the Vivian as well. You can set up some interesting play patterns with these cards, but yeah, also plussing it, making a creature every turn is great, or just minusing and getting 2 cards out of 1. Born Collects as a sort of finisher. You can double your counters off the Great Henge, and just getting it down for free if you have one of these 5-drops is super solid as well. Mana base, we got 2 Garen Briggs. Honestly, I just don't want to craft 2 more. I don't play that many green decks that run Garen Brig, and if you have them, you can just drop off 2 Snow-Covered Forests and run 2 more. I just don't, and I don't think it's worth the wild cards. It's not that strong of a card, and the only card that we can really discount cast is Vorinclex. We have 2 Faceless Haven, which I do think is really solid. The only reason I'm not running more is because we have a lot of devotion costs. We have double green on 2, and a lot of triple green. And I think it's fine because we technically have 23 green sources and only 2 non-green sources, but I don't want to go full on the Faceless Haven. Henge, obviously, we have plenty of creatures that can enable it on 5, surprisingly, right? This can enable it on 4, and all these 4-powered creatures can enable it on 5, which isn't bad either. So that's it for the list, guys. If you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, no In Search of Greatness, but we have a pretty solid curve here, along with a Faceless Haven, so let's keep. We're going to see if we could just aggro the opponent out. They are on Yorion. And we'll see if we draw another land. I kind of want to play this Mammoth out as a creature, but I also do want to get to the Gargaroth. So we'll see. Mammoth as a creature, if I hit my land drop, means we can start growing the Horn Beetle. But we're going to play it on 2 anyways. And on the play against Yorion feels really good. Oh yeah, we get that immediate rope. Yeah, you look at the companion. Okay, alright. Let's get an attack in. And get our 2-drop online. Pass the turn. So another Snow-Covered Forest is probably our best draw. It means we can safely go into Mammoth. And then have the mana to activate the Faceless Haven. Alright, very good. So we can't actually grow the Horn Beetle this turn. We'd have to do it next turn. I'm just going to attack and see what my opponent does here. No 3-mana 4/4. Which is a little sad, but it's okay. We're going to get this off Summoning Sickness. We might want to attack with it next turn. And we might see an Essence Scatter. Okay, just an Omen of the Sea. Alright. I mean, the Great Henge is a really solid draw as long as this Kazandu Mammoth sticks. And it looks like we're against Esper. So probably just Esper Doom. They didn't foretell on 2. So no Doomscar. Okay. And I think we just get aggressive. Let's animate the Faceless Haven. And attack with all. I mean, we can grow our Swarm Shambler. Do I care? I don't think I do. We actually get double landfall triggers with this, which is pretty funny. And it fixes their mana to black. We also get another Shambler. Ooh, okay, so what's the play? Do I make this thing a 2/2 or do I just get in there? I think we just get in there. Every point might end up mattering. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. And we'll play out the other Swarm Shambler and pass the turn. Alright, so land off the top means these Gargaroths are alive. And even if they have Extinction Event, we're still left with a Horn Beetle. Okay. So, I mean, they're dead to a Questing Beast off the top. They're dead to a Garruk off the top. Because we just beef up the Horn Beetle. And another land means we can slam Gargaroth. Yeah, you probably want to go for odd, because if not, you're literally dead. Yep. And we'll see what we hit. Troll isn't horrible. I mean, we'll play it pre-combat to beef up the Horn Beetle. Becomes a 4/4. Opponent goes to 1. Okay. We'll see if they have any non-exile removal, because if they do, or I mean if they have any non-exile removal, this ramps us to Gargaroth and then can become a 4/4 at instant speed. That can kill the opponent. So if they just have like an ECD, it's not good enough. Well, that was like the perfect answer. Alright, Faceless Haven, that's really good. We're going to play Gargaroth and then they're dead to the Faceless Haven next turn. So they need removal. They need like double removal spell here. I don't know if they can do it. They've had the perfect card so many times. How many more times can you answer me out of this game? And even if they answer this Gargaroth, depending how much mana they tap, I might just slam the other one. Like, something that keeps them alive is Artless Act and Omen of the Sun. Like, that's pretty solid. It means you can block the Faceless Haven for 2 more turns. We'll see. Doom? Yeah, that doesn't do it. And tapped blue. Yeah, that really doesn't do it. So we sack the Gargaroth, and they're dead to the Faceless Haven. Nice. So these snow mana bases coming in pretty clutch, although, hilariously, the opponent does even run answers for it. And you know what? I did have fun this match. That was a fun mono-green aggro game. Okay. Oh, man. I don't think I can keep this hand. It has technically 3 lands and just a lot of 4-drops. So we're going to send it away. This is better. Let's keep, and I think we drop off, well, either the Garruk or the Swarm Shambler. What's the plan here? We start with Kazandu Mammoth on 1, Horn Beetle, Old Growth Troll, and then Garruk. I think that's stronger than keeping the Shambler. And then we don't do anything on 1? Okay. And we start out with this tapped. I actually like that idea more. And we're against red. Yep. Turn 1 Fervent Champion inbound. We're gonna need another green source. That was a bad draw. We only do run 2 Faceless Havens. It's getting a little scary. But at least we have mana for Garruk confirmed. Opponent attacks. No blocks. This can grow, and we find it. Okay, we find the green source. Very good. And I think we start getting aggressive. We have a really good blocker in the form of Old Growth Troll for this turn. Like, if they're using cards to pump it, or to pump their creatures to trade or, like, cheat the troll down, like an Infuriate, that even trades. I think we can do this. It forces them to use, like, a Bone Crusher Giant or a Rimrock Knight. Uh-huh. I mean, I guess they're also pretty happy with that trade, but it's virtually free for us because we put this on the snow-covered forest. And we draw Vivian, so opponents in trouble, they just ramp us to Vivian. Nice. And we can go for Vigilance. And no attacks. We can chill. Nice. Maybe that block was too conservative, and I'm just supposed to try to pressure my opponent down. Alright, pre-combat Annex. I'm not even trying to bluff cleave. If they attack with the Rimrock Knight, and then we trade, it's fine. Yeah, let's block here. This can grow. I mean, debatably, the token can block every turn. Alright, Forest isn't great. So do I minus cast the Kazandu Mammoth, fetch something, or do I just go for Garrick? Let's play land. We have 6 mana available. I can minus, go get Ooze. Is that good? I don't think it's very good, especially because I don't have 7 mana. This being a land kind of sucks. This ETB is tapped, and I don't exactly want to sacrifice a forest. Alright, I think we just swarm the board with a lot of cheap creatures. Alright, let's go here. Vigilance again. Play out the Garrick. It's something they do have to respect. And we'll make a 3-3. Oh, we should have... Okay, what we should have done is played Garrick minus first and then plus the Vivian, because we would have had an extra loyalty counter on him. Alright, Torbrand. Oh, face. Okay. Face is the place. Trade here, trade here. Get a million 1/1s. Yep. And that's not bad. So, what is the plan? We would have had another blocker if I had played this correctly. I think I do go get Scavenging Ooze. I think I minus here. Cast this. Go get the Scavenging Ooze. Yeah. So we're going to go here. Minus. Grab the Ooze because it can gain life. And we do this pre-combat because I'm not attacking with the Horn Beetle. And if I go here, then we get the mana boost. Ooh. I mean, we get the buff and then this will become a 4-4. So free Garrick. Or hold open Ooze's ability. I actually like free Yorvo. I like free Yorvo. Free Yorvo is pretty chill. And we're going to plus, I guess. Like, it doesn't particularly matter. No attacks. Just make a massive wall. If the opponent has cleave, we're in big trouble. But it's still not the end of the world. And these Faceless Havens are a little bit punishing. But they came in so clutch last game, I do think they are worth it. Attack with all? No, attack with that. So, we're going to put you in front of here. I mean, actually, we'll put you here. Put you here. And I guess we'll take this. Embrith. Yep. So I technically should have blocked the other one. Alright. What's the plan? Minus Garrick again? Do I get another creature? I don't know. I think I just make the 3-3. Vigilance. Yeah, we see we did the minus thing first here. Then Kazandu Mammoth. Down. And Old Growth Troll, or I make Ooze a 4-4. I don't think that matters just yet. It might matter relatively soon. So we're just going to spam the board. Alright. We'll see if my mono green pile of creatures can eventually get there. You know what would be really good? A Blizzard Brawl, so we can take out this Torbrand. Maybe I've been going about this the wrong way and blocking where I shouldn't have. Frostbite my Vivian. 1 mana, kill 5 mana Planeswalker. Nice. At least Garrick is still around. Phoenix of Ash. And we never made a reach blocker, so maybe we should have done that. Get in for 4. Ouch. So what is my opponent on? Like, actually. Let's play land, get double landfall. This attacks for 10. Then we have 14, 17, 24, plus another 3, plus another... I think they have to block. And then, let's say we animate one of these. We can still make the ooze even bigger. Okay. Let's give the Kazandu Mammoth trample. How big can I make this ooze? Make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I tap here, and then here, we can animate the Faceless Haven. I actually don't think I want that because it taps for double green. So we're going to tap here, and then animate. Oh, didn't mean to tap that. I guess we'll eat here now. My bad. We were going to do that anyways, so it's not the end of the world. And we just full send. What you got? Uh-huh. Blocks Faceless Haven. I mean, fair. Technically trades. You have a block on the Torbrand, but if you block my ooze, I just make it even bigger. Yeah, GG's. And we kill them. They're a little bit too aggressive. They don't respect the double mammoth with potential landfall trigger. And yeah, we just eventually swing back for a crazy lethal after playing defensive all game. So I'm not sure I played that absolutely perfectly, but I still think that's pretty entertaining. Facing the Ugin the Spirit Dragon. You know what would go great with this hand? An In Search of Greatness. Let's see if we could find one. But if we even if we don't, the aggro curve is really solid. We are gonna need some more land. I guess it's not that perfect, but yeah, In Search of Greatness would be really great with this hand. And we'll get a Swarm Shambler down on 1. Maybe pump it on 2 if we don't have anything else to do. And we will see from there. Alright, opponent's starting on Faceless Haven. I think we just chill and pump it. Because they haven't played any creatures, that might be the play. We don't know what color they are. Red. Is it? Sure. So I'll make the 2/2. Could be a Stomp. Let's get in there. If they have a Scorching Dragonfire or a Fire Prophecy, we're going to want to do this pre-combat. Because they would like to target the Harbinger. Oh my god, they have the Scorching Dragonfire. Okay. Feels bad, but it's alright. We have Questing Beast next turn. The Scavenging Ooze is a pretty good draw. Let's go for the Questing Beast. Just get that lean down aggro curve. Opponent looks like they're on some Izzet tempo. Uh-huh. 1 mana Frostbite? Okay. So at least it replaces itself with another 1/1. And land off the top would mean either Gargaroth or Vivian. Okay, double blue means we're getting further and further away from the Goldspan Dragon. And opponent doesn't have quad snow mana, so they can't animate the Haven to block. Alright, they go for a Shark Typhoon. That's actually fine. We can go Ooze into a Brawl. Nice. And I guess we can eat later. It'd be worse against a Bone Crusher Giant, but it doesn't really matter in any other situation. I guess we can do it now. And we'll eat something out of my yard. I guess the Swarm Shambler is fine. I don't think it really matters. Alright, it just becomes a 3/3, and we'll get in there. If they want to block it with the Haven, we're fine. If they don't, we're also fine. We need one more land to activate this. So we're just going to play out other Ooze. We only have one more creature in the yards. We can start exiling them. Like, we can start exiling the graveyards if that's what we really care about. I don't think it is. What we're really looking for is one more land so we can start resolving our big threats. And I guess the way this game played out in Search of Greatness wouldn't have been that perfect. Okay. What do we have? Maybe the Goldspan Dragon? Foretell. Fair enough. Gets in there for 3 damage, doesn't plan on blocking. Now, do we make this a 4-4? Do we make this a 3-3? I think we make this a 4-4. I think 4 damage is going to be a lot more difficult to get than 3. And we can start eating their yard, I guess. No other creatures to eat in ours. Stomp? Okay, stomp. So, I mean, that was a good call, all things considered. Still no land, eh? Alright, it feels kind of bad. We'll get in there with the damage. Brazen Borrower. Uh-huh. And we can resolve Nylea and then get a discount on all our creatures. I think that's worth it purely for the discount. It means we can actually resolve Gargaroth next turn. Even if we don't draw the land, but we are well due to draw one. Yeah, just playing out Bone Crusher Giant and getting in for 3. There's the In Search of Greatness. That's actually not bad. We can go In Search of Greatness plus Ooze. Alright, I kind of like that. Let's start with the Ooze. See if this gets countered. And go for an In Search of Greatness. And they both resolve. Okay, we can actually make this a 3-3. Because there's an Ooze in our yard. Brazen Borrower, just cast the Fairy Side? Sure. And we're going to do this now, so another Bone Crusher Giant can't tag it. Alright. And because we have Nylea down, we'll be able to go Vivian and Gargaroth next turn, ideally. Okay, animate Faceless Haven, attack with all. Block the Faceless Haven. It's more threatening than the Bone Crusher Giant is. Alright, my turn. So we want to actually cast the Vivian. Yes. Because we have the discount on the Gargaroth. Resolves, very good. Animates Nylea. Awesome, awesome. Okay, now we can minus the Vivian, cast Gargaroth, and if we cast it, what 4-drops can we get? Do we have a Gem Razor? No, I think I cut the Gem Razors. Although it would have been pretty good here. We can get Questing Beast, which isn't great. Yeah, I don't think we're minusing Vivian. I think we're plussing Vivian. And I don't think we're going for this Yorvo. I think we're making a reach creature. Get that air protection and trying to resolve Gargaroth. This probably gets countered though. But if it resolves, it's so good. Behold the Multiverse. Oh, that's clutch. Okay. Now, please no counter magic. 2 to the bottom. Does it hit the board? Gargaroth resolves. Okay. No attacks with the Nylea, although they might be able to take it off its devotion. I don't think it's worth attacking with. Brazen Borrower. Bone Crusher Giant. Stomp my Vivian. That's fine. Double Stomp. That's a lot of Bone Crusher Giants. At least the Nylea's Devotion's still there. Hardcast Bone Crusher Giant, sure. And, don't really want Yorvo. It's not that great. Garrick, that's better. So we attack with the Gargaroth. They can double block, but I still think they would actually have to triple block. No, they wouldn't. This would become a 9/9. This would be 8. They would have to triple block. Alright, let's commit. Just suit up Gargaroth. Give me... So what do we care about? The life? Or the board? They would literally need to triple block this with their entire board. I could draw the card. If they're triple blocking, then I guess we don't really care. It's actually a pretty tough call. I think it's either the life or the 3/3. I'm gonna go for the 3/3. And they do opt for the triple block, so okay. Yeah, fair enough. Gargaroth got us a hell of a lot of value there. Got us another 3/3 and took out 3 creatures. Okay. Goldspan Dragon. Double attacking there. I think we block the Brazen Borrower. It takes my Garrick down a little bit, which sucks, but it is what it is. We get a Scry. Do I need that land? I don't think I do. Not at this point anyways. Okay, and we do find another, which is not ideal. So this is spend mana to cast creatures or activate abilities. So we'll play it. Get 6 mana. Activate the Nylea. Graveyard. I guess activate again. Foreign Collects, nice. Just strap up the Nylea. And we're going to attack with both. If they have another Brazen Borrower, we're dead anyways. And we have to start getting the pressure on. Alright, so unless they're running some cheese, then we should be okay. They're going to go after the Garrick to turn off Nylea's Devotion, I assume. Uh-huh. And they're going to cast the Bone Crusher Giant. That to the bottom. We find another Garrick. We play the Garrick. It's still not great. I think we just go for the Vorinclex. Thank you, Auto Tapper. Saw it coming. Feels bad. And we can go for this 1/1. Let's see what else the opponent has. Maybe removal. They Brazen Borrower bounce. Okay. And they cast it, so we're exactly dead. Feels bad, guys. Although I do still think that this was a solid game. Honestly, really entertaining one. So even though we lost, In Search of Greatness had a chance to pop off, which is what's really important here for the point of this video. Sad times. Alright guys, and we are back. So this has been an interesting video. I built a In Search of Greatness deck around playing In Search of Greatness. And the interesting part about that is that I don't play for In Search of Greatness because I don't think it's worth having more than one literally ever. And I only ever want to find one. And I didn't find that many In Search of Greatnesses today. And I don't have that much time to just chill out and record a million games until I get it to pop off. I think the lesson out of this is that just a lean mono green aggro curve is probably just better, but In Search of Greatness can be a fun build around for the deck. So I wouldn't craft it, but if you do have it, I would give this deck a try, because in any kind of slower matchup, or on the play especially, this card can get in some serious work. So that's going to be it from me, guys. Deck list will be in the description down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.